Good afternoon and welcome back to Track D. We're continuing our people-centric talks with very interesting case study. Green transformation is a common phrase we can hear in the business environment nowadays. Many organizations are trying to become greener and to transform their businesses to become truly sustainable, and we cannot but wonder, where is HR in that process? How it impacts leadership, well-being, performance, and how to go green and build HR through green transformation. It is my pleasure to introduce Dejan Ranđić, General Manager of DNA Communication Serbia and founder of ICT Hub.
Zdravo svima.
How
Hello,
are you
everybody.
doing today?
Thank you, fine. We have some rough nights because we have some celebrations here in Serbia and in family, but now it's new day, and I'm very grateful to be here with you and with you guys.
We're really grateful to have you here, and we're looking forward to hear this presentation. The stage is yours.
Yes, thank you. Thank you to everybody. Zdravo svima. As I'm announced, my name is Dejan Ranđić, and I'm coming from DNA Communications, where we are helping our clients, our partners, to create better communications in order to achieve their business goals. And as I mentioned, also through ICT Hub, I'm helping the companies to build a culture, to become more innovative, to create new business models, etc., etc. But today we are talking about HR. We are talking about how green transformation can become your, let's say, key ingredient of your HR strategy. So I'm going to be brief, hopefully 15-20 minutes maximum, and we're going to use presentation, unfortunately, without those excellent transitions and animations my team created, because we uploaded to the platform which is not supporting this. So let's start. First, let's start from the basics. Crisis as reality, meaning at least for last 2.5 years, we are every company is acting in extreme crisis-related environment, meaning we aim for transformation, preparing for the next steps, next hits, and of course, people are key company asset. Why? Because all those transformations, all innovations, all new type of organizational culture has to go through the people. Also, I want to mention something which came up to the table even before crisis we had from 2020. It's a new direction coming from one very influential organization called the Business Roundtable, which promoted new goal for the companies regarding the value, regarding the purposes, meaning that it has to go from progressive profit to profitable progress, meaning that more and more a part of the fact that companies has to achieve the goals regarding the profit, regarding the numbers, it has to be more and more aligned with the nature, with the people, with the planet, with the well-being, not only of owners, of employees, but also of the whole society. And more we are seeing that in action. That's why we are now, to jump to the main topic, HR. We can say that a part of the fact that we have to provide to the people bowl of fruit, meaning benefits, meaning salary, better working environment. More and more and increasingly, it becomes more important to bring some value to the table, meaning image of the company they are working in, and also their connection with that. Here are two numbers I want to present with you later. I'm going to direct you where you can find much more numbers and valuable data. But those two saying that 65% of the people in the world want to work in organization with powerful social conscience. Also, we can find the data that already 36% of HR professionals are building their strategies and their activities in connection with social and even environmental conscious topics. So it become more and more reality already in this area, and we believe in next months, in next years, those numbers are gonna increase highly. So it becomes reality and necessity to catch the green wave. Because environmental protection is burning issue, and it's burning issue in all segments of society. Is it politics? Is it technology and business as well? For the sake of necessity, optimization, and for the sake of finding future possibilities for operation and survival, more and more companies realize that they have to catch the green wave and to start talking about how they are in relation with those worldwide topics everybody are tangled with. So here are some tips I'm going to present to you, and to give a very brief explanation, and later I'm going to give you direction where you can find more. So first one is green practices enhance organizational efficiency. What we are talking about, combined with digital transformation, green practices optimize and boost overall work efficiency. That's the fact. It's not my opinion. It's coming from many research. Second one, green culture boosts employee engagement and productivity. If you are talking about having purpose, professional pride, this gonna result is in better retention rate. And I believe that most of you are today here because you want to hear tips and tricks how to have better retention rate. Also, which is really important and interesting, employees are less likely to call in sick when they're in company and share company values, which are reflecting desire to make meaningful impact. Next one, green HR contributes to resilience building. What we are talking about, green transformation provides long-term strategic competitive advantage, but also, which is also important, building the system which is less vulnerable to unpredictable systematic shocks, which I believe, unfortunately, we're gonna see in the future. Next three, green business build better brand image. Actually, by positioning green values, company opens a whole new level of brand image, building potential through PR, branding, employer branding, and overall storytelling as well. Green business ensures team satisfaction through better business performance. Again, research, something came up from research, shows that majority of consumers would spend more on products and service which coming from sustainable business. What does that mean? That means that if we have this in mind, it's about future of your company. So in that way, you are providing to your employees feeling that they are part of company which somehow secure their future, which is extremely important. And the last, green practices give a boost to the age strategies. So by offering something which has higher value for individual in your organization, but also to the overall society, your HR tactics, in this case, green HR tactics, add meaning to your employer offer more, and that is something more than just those bowl of fruit. So we can see right now, it was probably a few months and few years ago, but especially in the future, there is no better image than green image. And building green image is, we can say, must have an agenda for communication with whole your ecosystem, meaning employers, clients, distributors, customers, media, and especially if you're talking about your potentially new employees, clients, distributors, customers, etc., etc. So It's easy to say, but how to go to go green? I have to have some kind of disclaimer. First of all, we now, as announced, we are talking about communications, but there is whole ocean and plenty of opportunities if you are talking about your operations. So we are not talking about operations, but have in mind that you can go green also and mainly by changing your business model and also by changing your operations. So why it's important to mention? I believe that it's not possible to go green if your operations are gray. So let's talk about how to go green regarding communication, having in mind that your company did enough regarding operations, and it's gonna make more effort. So here are 8 points I'm gonna present to you. Let's start with those start small, aim big. No matter how far you are from green leader, and you are not green leader now, and hopefully you're gonna become, but there is no initiative which is too small to start with, as long you are ready to go through many steps. Then encourage virtualization. What does that mean? We have some new practices during last 3 years. Support them. It was initiated, but some shocking situation. But we can see that you can use them by. I'm talking about virtual meetings with your colleagues, with your clients. So you can also even promote it as cutting down unnecessary travels, less gas emissions, reducing using cloud, and thus reducing physical storage and paper usage, etc., etc. Then, also in relation with that, embrace and continue with work mode flexibility, because this is also the practice. Work from home, distance work. In that way, also you are reducing the carbon footprint, and also empowering different practices and making your employees more satisfied. Then enable and make incentives for new green practices in your environment, in your business environment. So encourage your employees to use green modes of transport or whatever, and also reward. I'm sorry, your employees who take part in green culture through leading as example. Important thing: let your office talk green. Don't make excellent story, excellent examples, and then your employees, or especially new employees, come to your office. There is no green story. Make your office talk itself. Make your office one of the powerful tools for your green transformation. Next, of course, get rewards for new initiatives and give rewards. Means have a green day for in a company. Brainstorm about ideas. Give, as I already said, give incentives to the people, etc., etc. And one of the most important things: educate. There is plenty of opportunities to educate people, to educate your suppliers, to educate your business partners, to educate kids of your employees, etc., etc. So provide to your team possibility to truly understand what are you talking about, to truly understand different layers of consequences of climate change we have, and consequences, good consequences of green practices. Foster a spirit of optimism, that it's not catastrophe we cannot change about, and also, which is always good, important, hire an expert to educate your team about climate. And last, get serious, meaning after making first small steps, think about opportunities, about new steps, becoming bigger and bigger in this area, because this is going to differentiate you with those who are doing greenwashing. Because I'm sure that you can create some strategy to create, let's say, some image, but if you are not serious, it's gonna backflash to you very fast. So as one of the conclusions, you have to become company that lives green communications. How? You need help in order to do that. We are one of the companies providing that kind of help. I'm sure not only one, but here I am talking with you. So we created something which is DNA Beehive, which is actually different lines of services. Each one consists of different programs, different products, etc., in order to help you to create green image and better branding through green up activities, employer branding activities, green leading, education, green building, etc. So we fully admit that not all the companies are the same. We cannot replicate same program, but we can use mostly same models. So we could become your providers of services in order to create internal and external communication more green and to catch up some new opportunities about how to attract new employees and new customers. Here we are coming to the end. I promised 15 to 20 minutes. So the last thing I can say that I'm calling you to visit our DNA booth on Expo Zone. I think it's under development, but you can search as DNA Go Green and you're gonna find it. And hopefully there you're gonna see some very important data through white paper we are providing to you, some proposal of the services, and which is interesting and maybe one of the most important things, we created the special offer for you guys, providing to you huge discount for just for you on HR Week in limited time period. So call us and hopefully we're gonna jump into the pool of Go Green Communications. So I don't know, do I have some kind of questions or something like that, but
I'm here, I'm back with the questions. So Danny, first of all, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation and great insights. I would firstly like to quote you that it is reality and necessity to catch a green wave, and in the long term, it can be a competitive advantage.
And I don't know, did I mention that we are talking about necessity to catch green wave regarding employer branding, regarding B2B, but also B2C, because we can see more and more. Probably the last thing we are talking about is relation about catching green wave with increase of sales and B2C selling strategy. But we can see it's coming more and more reality, especially with, let's say, new generations coming and becoming main power of sales in some areas.
I'm glad you also mentioned new generation, because also the trend now is this online and remote work. So one of the question actually is about how can the company be like 100% green if it's all remote? And how can they involve employees in the process?
One of the what is company culture? In some way we can say that it's some of our personal cultures, especially when we are in that I don't know, 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. So even if we are fully remote, first of all, I believe that even if we are fully remote, there is part of operations which also can be improved significantly. Is it energy consumption, type of energy we are using? Are you on the cloud or cloud on the servers, etc. So there is plenty of opportunities we can improve, and we can engage people in the process of improvement. But if we are community of employees working remotely, all of them, I have to say that in that case, it's even more sexy. So it's not only what we are doing in our office. Are we doing composting or separation of recycling or energy efficiency in our office? Then we are using our private space. So it's become even more personal. So I have to say it's very unusual for especially corporations to think in that way. But I believe that new companies coming up to the scene right now, some startups, etc., gonna force them think about that also.
You mentioned, the remote work has its challenges. And what would you say are also the main challenges when it comes to HR in green transformation?
I believe that I'm not HR person, but I believe, because I spoke with many of them on this topic, I believe that the main challenge is going to be not with the people, but with the, let's say, company goals to make it one of the most important things. And I believe that HR people already recognize that they need that, but not only in their area, because we are talking about image of the company. We are talking about purpose of the company. We cannot say that we fulfill that goals and that needs if it's only in relation with new employees or current employees. It has to be embraced by management, by top people in companies. It cannot be only part of HR tactics. So I believe that's going to be the main challenge. And I'm sure that they can overcome it, and they can make their colleagues from top management understand that it's going to be a crucial factor of differentiation between companies in the future. And I cannot see at all any kind of advantage or problem with colleagues, meaning employees, to accept that new policy or whatever.
After all, it is a long-term strategy and involves a lot of things and more than just HR. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
I would just like to thank you for your time. Thank you for a great insights. As you mentioned, everyone can visit HR Expo.
Yes, and find DNA Communications and go green, and you're gonna find some excellent things for you.
Thank you very much.